Imagine sitting at your kitchen table late at night, staring at a bank statement that feels smaller every single month. The world outside is quiet, but inside your mind, a silent alarm is ringing. You have worked hard for 30 or 40 years, following all the rules, yet something feels fundamentally wrong. Prices at the grocery store have doubled, your energy bills are climbing, and the news tells you that inflation is cooling down. But your wallet says otherwise. The reality is that $1 million today does not buy what it did even 10 years ago. In fact, $1 million in today's economy has the purchasing power of only $750,000 back in 2014. Retirement is no longer a guaranteed destination where you simply stop working and start relaxing. For our generation, retirement has become a survival race against a silent thief that steals your value while you sleep. If you are worried that your savings might not outlive you, I want you to know that you are not alone, and more importantly, you are not late. Today, I am going to show you exactly how compounding works at every income level, from $40,000 to $100,000 and beyond. We are going to move past the complicated math and the Wall Street hype. We are going to focus on the raw, honest truth about protecting your future and reclaiming your independence. Because at this stage of life, quality of life is not about having the most money, it is about having the most peace. Let us begin by looking at the first group, those earning around $40,000 per year. When you earn this amount, every dollar carries its own weight and its own story. After taxes, you might be looking at around $2,700 a month. At this level, compounding is not about buying stocks or watching a graph go up. Compounding at $40,000 a year is about protection and subtraction. The greatest enemy of your future right now is not a low stock market, it is high-interest debt. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while the bottom is full of holes. High-interest credit cards and small monthly payments are those holes. Even $100 a month lost to interest can destroy your ability to ever feel secure. The first true strategy for the $40,000 earner is to identify and kill the silent drains. Once those drains are closed, you must build what I call an oxygen mask for your finances. This is a safety cushion of at least $6,000 kept in plain cash. This is not an investment. It is a barrier between you and the unexpected things that life throws your way. When you have that cushion, the constant tension in your shoulders begins to fade. You can finally breathe, and when you can breathe, you can plan. The engine of growth for this income level is consistency in tax-free accounts, like a Roth individual retirement account. Even small amounts, when protected from taxes, become seeds that can grow for decades without the government taking a cut. But we must be honest, at $40,000 a year, the fuel for your machine is limited. This is why your most important long-term strategy is intentionally raising your value, even slightly. An extra $5,000 a year in income can triple the speed of your compounding at this level. Now, let us move to the next stage, the $75,000 earner. At $75,000, you have moved from survival to space. You have enough room to make choices instead of just reacting to problems. However, this is also the most dangerous income level for your retirement. When we have more room to breathe, we often start to spend more without noticing. This is known as lifestyle inflation, and it is a trap that keeps millions of people working long after they should have retired. You might feel like you deserve a nicer car or a bigger home because you have worked so hard. But every time your expenses rise to meet your income, your compounding machine stops. At $75,000, your strategy must shift to awareness and tracking your net worth. Income is just noise, but net worth is the real scoreboard. You need to know exactly where every dollar goes, not in a vague way, but in cold and uncomfortable detail. When you track your net worth, You realize that your home equity is a great achievement, but it does not pay the electric bill. You need liquid assets that produce income. At this level, you should aim for a savings rate of at least 20%. If you can maintain your lifestyle while your income grows, that gap becomes a powerful engine. This is where you stop being the person working for the money, and the money starts becoming your employee. This leads us to the final level, those earning $100,000 and above. This is the stage where compounding stops being delicate and starts being powerful. At six figures, your financial decisions are magnified, for better or for worse. The danger here is not an emergency, it is the normalization of luxury. At this income level, you can save more money by accident than others can save on purpose. But that only happens if you keep your lifestyle in check. One of the most incredible things about this level is the speed of the second $1,000,000. Most people spend 25 years grinding to reach their first million. They feel exhausted and think the next million will take another 25 years. But the math proves otherwise. Because you now have a massive base of capital, the second million often arrives in just 7 or 8 years. That is because the money is now doing more work than you are. A 10% return on $1,000,000 is $100,000 in a single year. That is like having a second version of yourself out in the world, working a full-time job and giving you the entire paycheck. At $100,000, you should be looking at tax optimization and diversifying your income engines. You should be maximizing every tax-advantaged account available and then moving into brokerage accounts or real estate. But before any of these strategies can work, you must identify your financial independence number. This is the specific amount of money you need invested to walk away from work forever. Most people never run this calculation, so they live in a state of vague anxiety. When you have a concrete target, your daily choices gain a new sense of purpose. You are no longer just saving money, you are buying your freedom. Imagine a life where you wake up and decide what to do based on desire, not on a requirement to pay rent. You could still choose to work, but it would be on your terms. You could focus on a hobby, volunteer, or spend time with the people you love without checking your bank balance. This is the real reward of financial independence. It is not about the fancy cars or the signal of wealth. It is about the peace of mind that comes from knowing you are secure. We often compare ourselves to the outliers we see on the internet, the young billionaires or the lucky investors. But the wealthiest people I know are rarely the flashiest. They are the ones who respected the process and stayed consistent. They protected the gap between what they earned and what they spent. They realized that time is the most valuable asset they have, not the balance in their account. As you look at your own situation today, I want you to remember that the best time to start was 20 years ago. But the second best time is right now, in this exact moment. Every dollar you save today is a soldier in the army of your future. Every debt you pay off is a weight removed from your shoulders. Compounding is not a magic trick. It is a law of nature. It rewards the patient, the disciplined, and the persistent. It does not matter if you are starting with a small income or a large one. What matters is that you start. Take a hard look at your expenses this week. Find the leaks and plug them. Build your safety cushion so you can stop living in fear. Then, feed the machine as much fuel as you can possibly afford. Your future self is waiting for you at the end of this journey, and that version of you is hoping that you have the courage to make these choices today. Do not let your retirement be a source of stress. Let it be a season of pride. You have earned the right to be independent. You have earned the right to be free. So, stay consistent, stay intentional, and watch the power of compounding change your life. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Let me know in the comments which of these income stages you are currently navigating. I read every single one of your stories, and they inspire me to keep sharing these truths. If this message resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and join our community. And if you want to go even deeper into how to protect your assets, there is a video on your screen right now that I think you will find very helpful. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and your future.